Hi, welcome to ABI Digital Solutions. I'm Damon Henricks, the Sales and Marketing Manager here, and today we're going to go over the top 5 mistakes people make in designing a billboard. Billboards are a very large canvas to work with, and it's not unusual for people to make a few mistakes, especially if they're used to working more with television or magazine and print commercials. So there are some considerations to take when translating from one medium to another. So let's dive right in. The first mistake that people make, and I see this quite frequently, is using too many words. Sure, the canvas that you're working with is enormous, but keep in mind it's being viewed from literally hundreds of feet away. So the fact that your available space is 20 or 30 times larger than a magazine advertisement does not mean you can use 20 or 30 times as many words. You generally don't even want to use as many words as you would use in a magazine ad. This first example here, I think they're trying to sell some kind of beer. Keep in mind, people are driving by at 70 miles an hour as they try and read this billboard. So you can imagine this is confusing and way too much copy to read at a glance. And in the second example here, again, too many words, too small on the copy, just very, very confusing, difficult to read. The general rule of thumb is that if you can't say it in 5 words or less, don't put it on a billboard. Now, some people have stretched that rule to say 7 words, but I think you get the point here, which is less is more. I mean, think of some of the best billboards that you've seen. Here's an example from Apple. There's nothing here, basically, except a photo and a logo. And I think this is a great example of powerful billboard advertising. The second rule of thumb is don't design by committee. Now, the idea here is to prevent mistake number 1, of course. A committee is going to have one person say, oh, be sure and put our web address on the billboard. And then another person is going to chime in, be sure and put our phone number on there. And then someone else is going to say, well, we really need to let them know when we're open. And then someone says, hey, don't forget we've got a sale going on right now. And so on and so forth until you've just got a jumbled mess. Keep it simple. Here's another fantastic real-world example. I have no idea what this billboard is for. And frankly, I don't even want to find out what it's for because it's so busy it just gives me a headache even looking at it. Our third suggestion is a little bit unusual and may not be applicable to everyone, and that is don't bother putting your website on your billboard. Now, I know this flies in the face of conventional wisdom, but think about it. In this day and age, do you go to the website that you memorized from a billboard or write down the website from a billboard as you're driving? Or do you simply go home, get on the internet, and Google what you're looking for? Look at how clean and simplistic these advertisements are for Banana Republic, for American Apparel, and for Apple. None of them have websites, and yet I don't think anyone's going to have any trouble finding them on the web if they try and search for them. Now, obviously, this may not apply for a company that has a very unusual or interesting web address, especially one that may not be the same as the name of the company. But really, if you don't have any confidence that you're going to be found on the internet when someone searches for you, you might have some better usage for your marketing dollars than investing in a billboard first anyway. Our next suggestion is don't forget your target market. It's better to knock the ball out of the park appealing to your specific demographic rather than striking out trying to appeal to everyone. Now, here's a really fun example here of 2 completely different target markets that happen to be right next to each other in a somewhat humorous fashion. The movie Hitman is clearly appealing to a much different target market than Huggies. Here's another example of Katy Perry's new perfume, Purr, and I'm sure that she is doing a great job of marketing to teenage girls, whereas 65-year-old men are probably not so interested. Our final suggestion to you is simply this: don't be boring. coming up with something unique that people want to look at as they drive by at 70 miles an hour does require some thought. Here's a great billboard that's set back in a field a little bit with a three-dimensional prop that is clearly meant to represent shaving someone, but it's been shaving the grass. I think this is very clever and fun. Of course, three-dimensional props are not always in everyone's budget. Here's a great example of a sign that doesn't use any props other than turning off some lights, which I'm sure the billboard company would be happy to avail you with. It suggests that you use electricity wisely and has only one light on the entire billboard right over the message. And of course, here's a great example of just a traditional 14 by 48 foot billboard. I love this. Here is a prospective bride who is indicating that she is very tired of waiting and is letting someone know it quite clearly. If you Google fun billboards or great billboards, you'll come up with dozens of other examples of some really unique and interesting billboards that hopefully will inspire you. At ABI Digital Solutions, we certainly look forward to seeing your next great billboard soon. Be sure and check us out on the web, www.abidigitalsolutions.com, and feel free to leave comments to this video on our Facebook page. Thanks so much.